Musically yours from the desk where the ledger stays open. I'm Marlowe Beckett. Welcome to the frequency. We're the ones who stay up to count the cost. Maxi found the punchline in the fire. Stella tracked the math of the labor. She mapped the fracture in the system. And Mateo heard the ringing of the bell. But tonight, I have to close the book on a day that refuses to end. We've got a hell of a show for you. But first, we have to talk about the grammar of a missile. In the rose garden heat, under the midday sun, Trump and Rubio stand to say the war with Iran is won. They claim the ceasefire's holding, that the peace is set in stone, ignoring every missile that the radar's clearly shown. The ink is barely dry upon the page they're holding high, while incendiary punctuation lights the Persian sky. They call it a triumph, a crisis pushed aside, but the hardware in the air says that the diplomats have lied. It's a rhetorical leap, a triple axle through the truth, the kind of logic only sold to the sheltered and the youth. The president is polishing the ending for the primetime screen, but between the mission and the dust, it is the bloodiest gap I've seen. If you say the fire's out while you're standing in the heat, the only one who's cooling is the body on the street. They're putting it behind them like a mirror in a crash, driving toward a victory while they're sifting through the ash. It's a rhetorical leap or a canyon of lead, a mission accomplished that won't stay in bed. If the word says it's over, then the medal is wrong, just a minor percussion in a victory song. But gravity's honest and the ledger is clear. The war isn't over just 'cause the cameras are here. Physics doesn't watch the evening news. A ballistic trajectory doesn't have a side to choose. The ledger doesn't care about the spin. A crater has no interest in the quotes they're turning in. No one else is coming to the rescue in the dark. The truth is the only light left, naming every spark. We are the rescue party in the rubble on the floor, counting the distance between the speech and the war. The war is over, says the man in the makeup on the hill. But the explosions are remarkably persistent, and the bodies remarkably still. It's a masterpiece of marketing, a ceasefire in the air, while the shrapnel's digging holes in the believer and the prayer. They think the crisis ends the moment that the cameras blink, but you can't wash out the blood with just a bottle of the ink. The war isn't over just because the prompt says so. Reality is stubborn, it's the last thing they should know. Canyon of lead, a mission accomplished that won't stay in bed. If the word says it's over, then the medal is wrong, just a minor percussion in a victory song. But gravity's honest and the ledger is clear. The war isn't over just 'cause the cameras are here. the sky stops screaming. Count the craters, count the sparks. Watch the dark. Watch the dark.